without further ado, let's get into this week's books. We start with Detective Comics 569. This is Mike W. Barr writing with Alan Davis on the art, and we relatively enjoyed the last issue of Detective, which is the same team, same writer at least. But we definitely were more enthusiastic about the issue of Batman we did last episode. We thought that had a lot more going for it. I still kind of stand by that. This issue had a lot more dated dialogue. Still, Batman has a couple of lines that just feel like these goofy, like of the era, like goofy, like remarks.
It's not bad, and again, it's one of those things that it's fun reading now in the time capsule sense of, hey, look at all these things we're still doing, like Batman retiring with Selina. Is that a possibility ever? Yeah,
they set that up at the start. I think the issue is a bit weaker for me than the last detective issue we did as well, mainly because I think the first half, when they're, it's this cat gang, this gang of cat burglars who apparently used to work for Catwoman, like Batman and Robin come in and they, capture them, and it's great. I'm on the next issue here. I'm not looking at the right one. But no, they capture this guy, cat people, and Selina shows up and she flirts a little bit. There's a little joke where like he's like, not in front of the boy, Selina, and Jason's just like, oh boy, and he's just like in the foreground. There's some jokes like that, and it's fine. Catwoman's entrance looks pretty cool. They do this sort of blood red kind of thing in the panel where everything goes red, and
the scratch comes in.
Yeah, I mean that looks good, and it's
I like the outfit at the time. I'd kind of, I wasn't sure which exact outfit we were in at this point. I like this one. I like the green cape.
I like the one that comes after this more. The Ballant one.
Yeah, no, I get it. That is probably better, but I do like the green cape.
But no, I like when she's cutting through the panel. The effect is that she sort of actually cut through it, but even her nails are actually kind of overgoing the panel a little bit to really sell it. I like that.
That's good.
So no, but the issue kind of then shifts to the Joker. The Joker is in a humph. He's not happy. All his henchmen are pissed that they're not getting paid, but they're too scared to tell him about it. And then the guy comes in, sort of explains that there's Batman stuff going on, and Joker gets an idea. He wants to, lure the Batman into a trap, and there's a bit of a running gag here actually, where Jason's training with Bruce, and he gives him a scenario, and Jason's like, "Oh, fine, I'll use this on my utility belt," and Bruce just like snatches it away from him. He's like, "No, that's a crutch. You will solve this without."
He's just got a little knife, and he just cuts the utility belt off, and he's like, "Now what are you gonna do, bitch?"
And that was amusing enough, but what really sells it is the running gag where they go up for dinner because Alfred's prepared dinner, and just as Jason's about to dig into his food, Alfred pulls the plate away and says, "Nope, you know the rules," and then look outside and the bat signal's there. It's like, shit. So there's a running gag here, it's only 2 times, but it's just a little running gag of Jason not being able to use whatever he's about to, do. So
anything that frustrates Jason Todd is something I'm a fan of.
Yeah, and I like this part of the issue. I like this part where Batman and Robin are with Gordon. Selina's there as well, and she's kind of being this sort of additional element to make things a bit flirty. And Gordon's like, "Hey, this Joker card was sent into one of the precincts, and it's got a note in the back that sort of hints." And there's a little bit of them trying to figure out what this hint means, and Batman figures out. The reason why I don't like this issue as much is once we get to the Joker and his goons at this museum, is that I wasn't super into a lot of the stuff. I mean, not so much them fighting Batman and Robin when they get trapped in the sort of the web stuff. So afterwards when it's Joker and the scientist dude kind of like going back and forth for a few pages. I kind of feel like the whole thing ground to a halt there.
It's only like 2 pages, but it's 2 of the densest pages.
Yeah.
I do feel it, sure.
I definitely felt it, but it obviously goes back to Batman and he breaks out of his webbing, and so
he has to save Jason because Jason couldn't pay attention and just relax like he was told.
Well, I mean that kind of sums up Jason in a nutshell, right? Is that he can't relax?
Yeah, pretty much.
But so the whole thing, there's a scientist, what he's doing there, and what they've been stealing is to make this chair a brainwashing chair. Essentially, it can reprogram the mind. And the end of the issue is a cliffhanger where they've got Catwoman in it, so they're going to reprogram her to presumably go against Bruce. And what I will say I like about the issue is that it actually establishes in the first half that Catwoman's kind of an ally, even though Batman's kind of skeptical about it. That she's trying to prove that she is on his side. So it does thematically give you a nice little sort of, a little tee off for this at the end, where it's okay, now she's going to be used against them, and it'll be this mixed thing for Batman, where like, is she just being evil now, or does he have to he's going to have to truly believe that this isn't her, and he's going to so
yeah. My fear is that it won't get as deep as that.
Probably not.
It'll be very surface level and frustrating. I hope I'm wrong.
You're probably right, but at the very least I do think setting that stuff up in the first half does make this ending feel more exciting.
It does, yeah.
So I'll give it that. Yeah, but it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely the densest book we read, and not for good reasons. It's not like it's dense because it's got so much content in it. It's just more like it over explains things at times, or there's too much dialogue at times, or. And
dense doesn't necessarily mean bad. Like the last issue of Batman that we had was still fairly dense, and that was leaps and bounds better than this. I really like that issue.
Yeah. I mean, if you're
still dense,
if you're sucked into the story and every page dense isn't really that much of a problem. Yeah. But this, there was times where it was just pulling me out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
And the art's fine.
It's not a terrible issue by any means.
It's expressive enough. I actually think Jason's expressions are some of the best, and I hate to say it, but maybe it's because he's got that kid-eyed wonder. He's able to just have him be more goofy in his reactions.
Yeah, I think it helps that they've got really playing up the how large his eyes are in comparison. Because you're the white eye slits on his mask. Big
cheeks as well. He's got his cheeks that whenever he smiles or whatever, they're really puffing up.
Yeah, that does help. So also, I think they can just get away with a kid smiling more than Bruce.
That's true. I mean, Selena smiles a little bit.
Yeah, but with Selena, it's always a smirk more than a smile.
Yeah. It's a sly one. So, this does feel like peak, procedural Batman sort of era, where it literally is like Gordon calling Batman, hey, the Joker's escaped again, he's on the loose, something's happening. Like
it's the next issue of Batman.
Yeah, it really does feel like that. Whereas I think Batman itself, at least from the last issue we read, is actually tackling some more interesting ideas, has more of a mission statement that it's trying to make, whereas this feels like it's just, here's your next rompy Batman story, and that's fine, but not as exciting.
It's not, although I appreciate there is that both going on at the same time.
Yeah, it means you've got both. You've got the good sort of like trying to be a deep story about Batman, and then you've also just got the rompy, like, here, have another adventure every month just to enjoy it.
You got best of both worlds, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's kind of like that just now. It's just that Tomasi's writing. So I think the problem is that now is that all writers are trying to do the next big great story. Like, so
it's one of those things where every story has to be 5 to 7 issues, usually 6, and there's not really much room for just these 1 or 2 issue stories, and then when they do, they often fall a bit flat. Looking at you, Batgirl.
That's a weird example though, because I actually think before this current writer, Batgirl was actually very good at doing all these little 2-issue.
It was. I meant specifically this last kind of issue in the fantasy, which is a 2-part story, which is just like,
Because some of my favourite issues of Batgirl since Rebirth were the one on the plane with Ivy, which is the one shot, and then the one where she's helping the girl find her dog. Like,
yeah, it's something of a lost. Like, certainly on about Snyder's Batman run, but between arcs, he used to do like 1 or 2 issue stories, and I always really enjoyed them. They're a nice like breather, just reset the pace a little bit.
In the second half of the run, they were better than the actual stories.
Sure, yeah, I'm not fighting you on that, but I think it's kind of something that's lost in that. Okay, so we have a big 6 to 12 issue story of, okay, this is the big thing, and then it's straight into the next big thing. Having just that 1 or 2 issues in between of something smaller kind of resets the scope a little, I think.
No, that's exactly what Scott Snyder should have been using in his Justice League. He should have had these quieter issues between arcs. Yeah. But I don't mean just Snyder. I mean
most books.
Yeah, but that's just the example I can think of that really needs it.
Yeah.
More than most. But anyway, what are you going to give Detective Comics 569?
I'm going to give it a 6. I mean, it's still enjoyable enough. It's just not as strong as some of the other stuff that we've had.
Yeah, I'll go 6.5. I don't want to quite say good, but you know, it's close to before you can get to good, I suppose.